What's up everybody, I'm Logan from Sleepopolis.com and today I'm going to be reviewing the new Casper Hybrid mattress. I'm going to give you some recommendations, complaints, run some tests, and at the end tell you who I think should buy this mattress. But first up, let's talk about the feel of the Casper Hybrid. Of course, the most important thing when looking at a new mattress is what it feels like to actually lie in bed. So I want to give you my thoughts real quick on what the Casper Hybrid actually feels like. First up, in terms of firmness, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 on the firmness scale, with 10 being the firmest. That's pretty much in that medium range. It's got a nice mix of the support of the coils below with the really soft foams on top for pressure relief. Now, when I was lying on my back, my weight's pretty evenly distributed in this position, and I do feel myself sinking into those soft foams a little bit, but I did feel like the coils below did a good job of supporting my hips, keeping my spine aligned in a good position as I was rolling around, changing positions. Even though I do feel a little sunken into the softer foams, I think the coils give a really nice bounce to the mattress, so you're able to change positions. There's good mobility. I didn't feel stuck in the Casper Hybrid. As I rolled onto my side, I was actually pretty impressed with the ability to relieve pressure of those softer foams. The Casper Hybrid is zoned for pressure relief. We're going to take a closer look at the materials later on in the review, but I do just want to say that because of that zoning, you're able to sink further in at the shoulders, which is great for side sleepers who can get jammed up a little bit and have some pressure points form at the shoulders there a lot, while also supporting the hips, keeping your spine line in a good position. I think side sleepers are going to like the Casper Hybrid. Now, as I was rolling onto my stomach, my weight is again pretty evenly distributed. What I'm looking for here is for stomach sleepers to have their hips supported, keep their spine line in a good position. Generally, that means a pretty firm mattress. So like I said, I think the Casper Hybrid is in that medium range, 6 to 6.5 on the firmness scale. I think if you're a combo sleeper that rolls onto your stomach for a little bit of the night, you're going to be okay on here. But if you are a really strict stomach sleeper or a little bit heavier, I think your hips are going to sink in a little too much and cause a little bit too much arch in your back. I'm going to run a couple tests to give you a better sense of what the Casper Hybrid's all about, and the first one is the pressure map test. I run it on every mattress that I review, and basically I put a pressure map down on top of the mattress, lie down in a few positions, and you can see the results next to me ranging from blue for low pressure to red for high pressure. Now, lying down on my back, again, my weight's pretty evenly distributed in this position. You can see it's blue across the board. That's pretty much what I see for most mattresses. I'm basically just checking to see if anything sticks out. I think that the Casper Hybrid does a good job of relieving pressure when I was lying on my back. Now, rolling onto my side is really where the pressure map test is a big tell on the quality of a mattress for that position. Now, you do see that the pressure goes up into the green range and even a little bit of yellow near the shoulders. That's not too strange. Like I said before, that the shoulders can be a pressure area for a lot of side sleepers. I don't think this is going to be a problem if you're a combo sleeper that rolls onto your side for a little bit of time or anything like that. If you are a really strict side sleeper or need a super plush feel to the mattress, you might want to look at something like the Casper Wave or the Wave Hybrid, which have more pillow top feels to them, and you can really sink in for a lot of pressure relief. Now, rolling onto my stomach, again, my weight's pretty evenly distributed, and again, you can see it's low pressure across the board. That's pretty much the norm for most mattresses that I test, but again, I don't think the pressure map test tells the whole story for stomach sleepers. I did feel my hips start to sink just a little bit. Again, I think if you're a combo sleeper, you're going to be okay for part of the night on your stomach, but if you are a strict stomach sleeper, you may want to look for something a little firmer. Now, the next test that I run is the sinkage test, and it's meant to simulate whether you're going to feel more on top of or sunken into bed. So we have 4 balls of varying sizes, weights, and densities to simulate different body parts and check to see how far into the Casper Hybrid they go. Now, on the lighter end with those 6 and 10 pound balls, they actually sink in about average with what I see on other mattresses, but with the 50 and 100 pound balls, which is meant to be kind of like your shoulders, or if you're a bit bigger, that center mass of your body, we're seeing more sinkage into the mattress than I'm used to seeing in other kind of bed-in-a-box hybrid mattresses, which tells me like you're gonna sink further into the mattress. You do see these softer foams on top, so they're kind of pushing straight through those and ending up kind of interacting more with the coils below that. Now, even with that, I think there's really good bounce here on the Casper Hybrid, so while you will feel yourself sinking in, you're not gonna feel stuck in the layers. You're gonna be able to change positions, move around a little bit. Now, another test that I run is like a bounce test or a motion transfer test. And basically I take that 10-pound steel ball and drop it from heights of 4, 8, and 12 inches to simulate someone kind of getting into and out of bed, rolling around in the middle of the night. And on the other side, I put a seismometer down where you might be sleeping and see how much disturbance is transferred across the mattress. Now, I was pretty impressed with the ability of the Casper Hybrid to isolate motion transfer. Usually with bouncier mattresses, you see really high spikes in motion transfer with each of those drops. But, I think the softer foams on top do a good job of kind of dulling that motion transfer. So there is a little bit of disturbance transferred across. Of course, if someone jumps into bed or anything like that during the middle of the night, you might feel it, but I was pretty impressed with the ability of those softer foams to kind of dull that motion transfer, so I think that's a good plus for couples. Now I've peeled back the cover of the Casper Hybrid to give you a better look at the layers beneath to show you where that feel is coming from. So first up, the cover is a polyester blend. It's nothing too special to write home about. It's got a little bit of a cozy feeling to it, but it doesn't really affect the feel of the mattress itself. Now underneath, you'll see these foam layers on top of the mattress are actually based on the same layers in the original Casper mattress. I think the densities have been changed a little bit to account for the difference in the support, but all you need to know is up top you have an 1.5-inch layer of like a latex-like alternative foam to it, so it's got that quick response to pressure. It's pretty soft, so you're gonna sink into it really quickly, and it's got this open cell structure, so that's going to help it be a little bit more breathable, help it sleep a little bit cooler. Now below that, we have a layer of memory foam. You can see that slower response to pressure there. Now it's important that that's below the softer latex-like foam on top, because while you are going to sink in for pressure relief, get a little bit of contouring as you get into that memory foam layer, the latex-like bounce is going to help you not feel stuck in the mattress as much, and also because it does sleep a little bit cooler, it's going to defend against some of the heat trap that memory foam is known for. Now below that, we have kind of a transition layer, which is a polyfoam. It's a little bit more firm than the layers above it. So as you're transitioning through, you're going from softer foams into firmer foams, so you get a little bit of cradling support as you go through the mattress. Now the interesting thing about this transition layer is that it is zoned for support, so it's going to give you firmer support near your hips to keep them from sinking in, and softer support near the head and the shoulders, so that while you're on your side, you can sink a little bit further in. It's going to help you avoid pressure points forming at the shoulders, while also allowing for spine alignment when you're sleeping on your side. Now below that, where the original Casper mattress would use high density polyfoam for support, it's a hybrid construction here, so you get pocketed coils, so you get a little bit of bounce. You can see that quick response to pressure there. Also, it does provide pretty good support to the mattress. Something that pocketed coils do a little bit nicer than high density polyfoam is create airspace in the mattress for a little bit more breathability, help you sleep a little bit cooler. Now at the base of the mattress, we do have 1 inch of high density polyfoam, but it doesn't really affect the feel of the mattress at all. It's mostly just for the pocketed coils to press off of. Now, if you're watching reviews of the Casper Hybrid online, I'm assuming it's not the only mattress that you're checking out, so I want to give you some comparisons to some of its biggest competitors. First up is the New Purple line. Now, the New Purple line uses a mixture of pocketed coils and the hyper-elastic polymer grid that Purple is known for. It makes it a really bouncy mattress so that you can change positions really easily. That hyper-elastic polymer that only Purple uses sleeps really cool. Now, in terms of firmness, to compare it to the Casper Hybrid, I would say the Purples 2 and 3 are probably closest, maybe even the original Purple in terms of what the Casper Hybrid feels like. And in terms of price, the New Purples are a little expensive, ranging from $1,300 to $3,500 depending on the size and which one of the New Purples you buy. Next up is the Saatva mattress. Now, as opposed to the Casper Hybrid's bed-in-a-box hybrid construction, the Saatva is a traditional inner spring mattress. It does not come compressed in a box. Now, it's got really strong support for good spinal alignment. It's got a classic kind of bouncy feel to it thanks to a coil-on-coil structure. I really like it for back sleepers. Now, in terms of price, it costs between $599 and $1,499 depending on the size Saatva you want to buy. But if you use the link on the Sleepopolis review, you can get a $75 Visa gift card sent to you after your trial is over. Now, Casper also has a few other models in their mattress line, but I want to touch briefly on two that I think match up mostly with the Casper Hybrid. First up is the Wave Hybrid, which is another new bed-in-a-box hybrid from Casper. It's got a really plush feel that you sink into for pressure relief. Even though you're kind of luxuriously sinking into bed, there's good bounce from the coils below. I really like it for side sleepers and couples. In terms of price, it is a bit more expensive than the Casper Hybrid, coming in between $1,545 and $3,495 depending on the size mattress you want. Next up is the original Casper mattress, which is what the Casper Hybrid is kind of based on, as opposed to this one's hybrid construction with the coil support. It has an all-foam bed-in-a-box construction to it. It uses this zone support system so you can sink in a bit more at the shoulders, which is really great for side sleeping, spinal alignment, and pressure relief. Now, I really like it for combo sleepers because of its medium firmness and good mobility to it. Now, in terms of price, it ranges between $595 and $1,195 depending on size. But if you use the code Sleepopolis at checkout with any Casper mattress, you can either save $75 on the original Casper and Casper Hybrid, or $150 on the Casper Wave and Wave Hybrid. Now, of course, before the review is over, I gotta tell you who I think should buy the Casper Hybrid. First up, I think it's a great choice for the combo sleepers out there. It's got that nice medium firmness, so a nice mixture of support and pressure relief in multiple positions. Second, if you're looking for a mattress with bounce, I think the Casper Hybrid does a really good job of giving you some mobility so you can roll around, change positions without feeling stuck in the mattress. And finally, I think it's a great choice for the couples out there. I was pretty impressed with how it did on the motion transfer portion of the review. And also, I think it did a great job of allowing me to sleep all the way to the end of the bed without worrying about collapsing it, rolling out of bed, anything like that, even without a specific edge support portion of the mattress. Now, even though I really like the Casper Hybrid, I don't think it's the perfect mattress for everybody, so some of the people that I think should stay away are strict stomach sleepers. While I do think if you roll onto your stomach for a little bit of the night, you're gonna be okay with this medium firmness here, but if you are a really strict stomach sleeper, I think you're gonna wanna look for a firmer mattress. And my second reason for not picking this is if you're a bit on the heavier side, like if you're 250, 300 pounds plus, I think you're gonna sink a little too far into the mattress. You won't get the full support of the Casper Hybrid. Now, if you've watched the whole review and you've decided that the Casper Hybrid is for you, I want to give you a little bit of purchasing information. First up, there is a 100-night trial period for the Casper Hybrid, which means you can have it in your home for just over 3 months, deciding whether or not you want to keep it or send it back. There's also a 10-year warranty on the Casper Hybrid. Of course, you want to check out exactly what that covers on the website, but I'd say that 10 years is kind of the average or the standard for the online bed-in-a-box hybrid market out there. Now, in terms of shipping, it does ship for free. It will arrive compressed in a box, so you want to unbox it, let it rise for a few hours or even overnight before you sleep on it, so you get the full support level from the Casper Hybrid. Now, finally, in terms of price, it ranges from $850 to $1,895 depending on the size of the mattress that you order, but if you use the code Sleepopolis, you'll save $75 on your purchase. So that's it for my review of the Casper Hybrid. If there's anything I didn't cover, just leave a comment below. Now, if your mattress search continues, hit subscribe because we're going to keep putting out more reviews that helps you find the perfect mattress for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter so you don't miss any of our sleep news or our giveaway announcements. And check out sleepopolis.com for all of your sleep needs.